Welcome back, everyone. We're diving into something a little different today. It's all about our furry friends, and, well, it's about smoking.
Oh, yeah.
You guys sent in some research about the dangers of smoking around your pets.
Mm-hmm.
So we want to dig into it.
Yeah.
We're going to cover everything from the toxicity of nicotine to, long-term breathing problems, even like how it affects their sense of smell and their skin and their fur.
Really? The whole 9 yards.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty wild how much smoking can affect pets, specifically dogs. We're going to talk about dogs today.
Yeah, right. Yeah, a lot of this stuff applies to cats and other animals too, but
Right.
we're going to talk dogs.
Yeah, so let's get right into it. I think we all know that, smoking is obviously bad for us humans,
Of course.
but maybe we don't realize how much worse it can be for dogs.
Yeah.
So, to start off, how bad is nicotine for dogs?
It's really bad.
Okay.
Like, even small amounts can be super poisonous to them.
And we're not even just talking about, cigarettes themselves.
Right.
We're talking about, cigarette butts that are laying around, e-cigarette liquid,
Oh, wow.
or chewing tobacco.
Yeah, that makes sense.
All this stuff that can be laying around a house.
Right.
It can be super dangerous.
Yeah, especially if you have, a curious dog,
Oh, yeah.
like a puppy,
Yeah.
who's, sniffing around. They could, easily eat something like that.
Absolutely. And that's the thing. Dogs explore the world with their mouths and their noses.
Yeah.
They're going to be sniffing around, and they might pick up a cigarette butt thinking it's a treat.
Oh.
And then you have a big problem.
Oh, that's scary. I mean,
Yeah.
I was reading, actually, that one cigarette butt has enough nicotine to poison a small dog.
Absolutely.
Wow, that's scary. So, okay, we know, nicotine is bad.
Yes.
What about the smoke itself?
Well, the smoke itself has all these tiny little particles in it. And when the dog breathes it in, those particles get into their lungs,
Yeah.
and they basically irritate and inflame the lung tissue.
Oh.
Dogs' lungs are much more sensitive than ours.
Mm.
Over time, this can lead to something called chronic bronchitis, which is basically just a persistent cough.
Oh.
And it can make it really hard for them to breathe.
Wow, so it's not even just a cough here and there.
No, it can be a long-term chronic problem.
It's like a serious thing.
Absolutely.
That's really sad. It makes you think, if you're going to light up, you should definitely do it outside
Yeah.
and far away from where your dog's going to be.
Absolutely.
I'd hate to think, my dog was suffering because of something that I was doing.
Well, and it goes beyond the lungs, too.
Okay.
There's been a ton of research about the link between secondhand smoke
Oh, yeah, I've heard about that.
and cancer
Yeah.
in dogs.
Right.
I mean, we know that smoke has thousands of chemicals,
Okay, yeah.
many of which can cause cancer. Right.
And it's not just lung cancer either.
Right, because I remember, I think it was in one of the articles that
Yeah.
you sent,
Mm-hmm.
that it was talking about how, dogs with longer noses
Yeah.
are more likely to get nasal cancer.
Right.
So, greyhounds and collies.
Exactly.
Because all those, carcinogens
Right.
are getting trapped in their long nasal passages.
Right.
And then the short-nosed breeds, like pugs and bulldogs, they're more likely to get lung cancer.
Exactly.
Oh, that's so sad.
Yeah.
It's heartbreaking to think that our furry friends are, vulnerable to these diseases.
Yeah, and they can't really do anything about it.
Yeah, they can't help themselves.
It's our responsibility as owners to protect them.
Absolutely. So, okay, we talked about the lungs. We talked about cancer.
Mm-hmm.
I know there's got to be, other things that smoke can affect.
Yeah.
What about, their sense of smell? Because I feel like that's super important to dogs.
Oh, absolutely.
It's, their primary way of experiencing the world.
Right.
And smoke can really mess that up.
Okay.
So it damages the receptors in their nose that allow them to smell,
Okay.
and it can really dull their sense of smell. And
Yeah.
that affects everything.
Yeah.
Even going for a walk isn't as enjoyable for them.
Yeah, because they're smelling everything.
Exactly. It's how they explore. And then, if your dog is a working dog, does tracking or scent detection,
Yeah.
then, damaging their sense of smell is a huge problem.
Yeah, it could seriously mess with their ability to do their jobs.
Absolutely.
Wow. It's almost like if you were to take away a painter's sight,
Yeah.
their whole world would become less vibrant and less full of detail.
Exactly.
Wow. Okay, that's crazy.
Mm.
So what about their skin and their fur? I wouldn't think smoke would affect that.
It does, actually.
Really?
Yeah, that smoke residue that we talked about,
Right.
it can cling to their fur. And that can cause all sorts of problems, like,
Huh.
irritation,
Okay.
dryness, and it
Yeah.
just gives them that, like, yucky, smoky smell.
Right, yeah.
And then, like, they go to groom themselves and
Wow.
they're ingesting those chemicals.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
So it's not even just that, like, your dog might be smelly.
Yeah,
It's that they could be, like, swallowing all those harmful substances.
exactly.
Wow. Okay, so we've talked about a lot of bad things.
You have.
Anything else? Or are we done with the bad news?
Well, I've got one more thing.
Okay, hit me.
It's their immune system.
Oh, okay.
So when a dog is constantly exposed to smoke,
Yeah.
it weakens their immune system.
Okay.
Makes them more susceptible to, like, every kind of infection.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So it's not just about, like, avoiding a cough here and there.
Yeah.
It's about, like, protecting their overall health and well-being.
Exactly.
Wow, well, this has definitely been eye-opening.
Yep.
I think the big takeaway is, we need to be advocating for more smoke-free zones.
Absolutely.
And not just for us humans, but for our furry friends, too.
Absolutely.
I mean, they depend on us to keep them safe.
Yeah. They can't exactly make their own choices,
Right.
We have to make those choices for them.
Exactly. Well, thanks for taking us on this deep dive. This has definitely given me a lot to think about.
I'm glad. I hope it gives all the listeners something to think about, too.
Yeah. And to all our listeners out there, let's all do our part to make sure we're creating a healthy and safe environment for everyone, human or canine.
Yeah.
So thanks for listening, and we'll catch you in the next deep dive.
See you soon.
Bye.
Bye.